Hello. Hello. In this video, I will be answering questions about questions basically that was asked to me. So it's pretty simple. I'm just gonna be answering questions in this video. So anyways, I hope you enjoy. So we'll get to our first question shortly. So first question we're talking about today are plains of a country part of that territory. That country? No. Because territory needs to be a defined land that's claimed, or maybe even a sea abyss, like in the exclusive economic zone or territorial waters. But I know in some cases countries do exercise some authority over their airlines' planes, but to my knowledge, most of the time, actually, lots of times, passengers on the plane, although it's from another country, have to obey the laws of the country that the plane's currently in. Like I remember one case where another country exercised their authority over the borders into a plane, onto another airline's planes that were in another country. It was in Hawaii. The United States had jurisdiction over the case, but chose not to press charges because of foreign relations thing. Because the person that was being disorderly on the plane was an airline executive from another country, so he chose to leave the person alone. In this case, the South Korean government chose to press charges against this person and have this person arrested because the people did not like what the person did, the person in question did. Which is really kind of shocking to that they went over the jurisdiction, but it's not bad, I guess. At least they were trying to improve the reputation of their country. Because reputation is really important nowadays too. So based on what I've noticed too, reputation is really important. Next we'll talk about another question. Is there any way a very financial independent person will lend me money? I'd like to propose an edit to your question first. Financially independent might actually sound better. And of course, a financially independent person is going to care about their money. So a financially independent person will care to know about who you are, make sure you're not going to run off with their money, all that stuff when they don't need the money. So lending is really serious business. Governments tend to get involved with it too. I know in Japan they have the Ministry of Economy that oversees the banks and lending. So anyways, if I were to loan you money, I would want to make sure that you won't run off with it. So first of all, the first step, if I'm financially responsible or financially independent, I would not want you to run off with the money. So I'm sure no one wants to run off with the money that you loan that you loan them. You want, because that's basically theft. So no financially independent responsible will lend money to a person who has no name or tells them no name basically. If you don't tell them a name, how can they check on you to make sure that you're telling the truth with your credit reports, and then also with the criminal background check, because no name means they can't do a criminal background check, but you can't get any proof of credit, which leads to mistrust. Depending on the amount, you might need collateral. Collateral is basically like, for example, you could say, hey, I'm gonna let you have my collectible car until I pay you back, which is basically like to ensure a payment. Collateral ensures repayment, basically. So for like an example, if I was a borrower, I would let one of them hold onto one of my collectible cars until I could pay it back, basically, as agreed to. Because that's kind of implied in the contract when you loan money, that you agreed to pay it back. But you probably should still list it though, just to be sure. And of course, a criminal background check will ensure that you're credible, which is really important with loaning money. Even like I wouldn't want to loan money to a person who has stuff like corruption, embezzlement, theft on their criminal record. That's gonna be higher risk, or they had foreclosures and failure to pay back loans previously on their credit report. That's gonna be a really huge red flag. So you gotta be able to establish trust that you'll pay back. But if the money's really large amount, of course they still need some like more. to basically ensure that they are not gonna get ripped off or you're not gonna run off with the money. Basically, that's all stuff there. Next, we'll talk about our next question. It was about, does other countries have constitutions? The answer is yes. Japan has a constitution that restricts the military. The UK has a constitution too that protects rights as well. It's basically a universal aspect and found in all nations. It's like the structure of government. It outlines the rights and responsibilities of people and the authorities that government has, the powers, and the responsibilities they have. Like many of them will include stuff like freedom of speech, the freedom to resist searches. So it's really important in a nation. So nations are really kind of obliged to follow the constitution. It's a checks and balances thing. Next, we'll be answering the question of how much customs duties you have to pay to import bicycles from China to Canada. First of all, that was how I would correct the sentence first of all, because originally it said how much customs do I have to pay to import bicycles from China to Canada. Well, first I'd like to propose the correction because how much customs duties would be much more proper because customs duties are taxes. Customs is just an agency and so on. So first of all, customs duties really, there's lots of exemption limits involved with, but I can't say for sure what the exemption limit is for that one from taxes. But after you pass the exemption, you have to pay taxes. So this would really be affected by how much bicycles are you importing from China into Canada, and then what the duty rate is on these items. I don't know what the duty rate is, so I would recommend calling the CBSA, talking to the CBSA first before trying to import that. Because I can't say for sure what it is, because I don't know what the customs duty rate in Canada is. So I would really advise calling the CBSA or talking to a CBSA about this. It depends on the price, most likely, and they'll take a percentage of it that you would have to pay in duties. Our next question: why do not all countries come together to speak a single language? First of all, languages are really rooted in the culture. So basically, you're going to ask them to sacrifice part of the culture, which I highly doubt they would agree to that. First of all, many people are proud of native languages. So if they were all to speak one language, I know it could be a little bit more efficient, but you can lose lots of culture and heritage in it, along with the values too. Increase the risk of that happening. So it's going to come with a cost. It might seem like a good idea, but it's not always the best idea. And second of all, people are going to be really resistant to this thing because you're going to change their whole way of life, their lifestyle, too, because languages are really important. And many people are not going to like that idea, too. And plus, there's many people out there who doesn't have time to learn languages. So if you make the whole world speak one language, you're going to hurt them. You're going to hurt the poor. You're going to make the poor poorer, probably, and make them suffer more, which is a bad thing, too. So, plus with the way the world is right now, I don't think it's a good idea to actually have everyone speak one language right now, because that's going to make things a lot worse, too. So it's just not a good idea at the moment, in my opinion. But it could make things much more efficient, but just not a good idea, because we need ways of preserving our culture. If you look at what happened in the past, like in many events like genocides, I would say trying to preserve cultures is something that we should try to do. And preserving languages is also important as well. Because when you lose languages, you lose the beauty associated with it too. I think the chance of a Kalmar Union being reinstated is unlikely. Because first of all, there's many cultural differences between the many Scandinavian countries already. But I'm sure if a Kalmar Union was reinstated, they'd be powerful though. There's no doubt in my mind about that. They probably would be powerful. But like, if you look at Scandinavian countries, you have Swedish already, you have Icelandic, Danish, Finnish, Norse, and even the Faroese from the Faroe Islands. So they're really split up now. They really went along to become their own countries already, and they have their own distinct culture. I know the U.S. is unified with many different cultures, but it's usually generally tough to do this too because There's many stuff that goes on. It's not really simple to unify independent countries into one main country. It's not really that simple. It's just saying let's unify all together. There's many steps involved when it comes to unifying other countries. It just doesn't happen because you say let's make them all one country now. It's just not that simple. There's many steps involved with it. So you gotta take that into account first before considering how to put them all into one country. It's not that simple. So I would recommend probably just looking at what they want to, what the culture is, what locals think. That's all really important too. So I think most likely the Kalmar won't come together, but there can always be a crisis that brings them together, because people come together during crises. So maybe if a big crisis happened, then they might all unify into just one country to deal with the crisis. But you never know. Anything could happen. For all I know, they could join the UK, or they might. There's many things that can happen. I can't say for sure, really. Many things can happen. Anyways, thank you for listening to this. I just find it easier to actually talk about this better, so I could explain it better than if I were typing it out. So that's just my reason for making videos instead of typing it out. Thank you for watching or listening. Bye.